Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Ninja Gaiden Sigma Beginner's Guide to Master Ninja Mode. This is Chapter 4, the Imperial City Infiltration. And as soon as you leave the safety of your save point, you're going to be introduced to a new soldier type, which is this silver armoured, like, kind of glowing sworded dude, shiny silver sword guy. And he's not too bad. He's a tougher version of the other white soldiers we were taking on, because he does have more armour, but he does not block like the black guy does. He's nowhere near as fervorous when it comes to fucking being a dick. So I don't mind the silver guys. I actually quite like them, and there's 3 of them waiting over here. So you see what I mean? You can do your Izuna drops, you can do what you want with them, your shurikens don't work. They seem to just neutrally block shurikens, so don't even try doing that to stun them. It just seems like a waste of time. But this is an area that you're going to have to get used to traversing, because you come through this place a lot, and it's as hard as you make it. There's a couple of mandatory, well, I say mandatory, there's a couple of fights that will always happen. There's a couple of regenerating fights, and the reason that it makes this slightly challenging is the fact that a lot of them involve the red ninjas, and the red ninjas are probably the most challenging fights in the game. But this right here, when you come into this courtyard, it will lock the door you need to go through, and it will start this fight. And you'll notice these black soldiers, they are upgraded versions of the ones we took on the blimp, on the Zeppelin. There's also going to be these silver/gold guys with the grenade launchers, these guys over here, and a whole bunch of just soldiers. And you want to use this as a good opportunity to getting used to how they fight, because the black shielded guys, they will block pretty much a lot of your stuff. The only thing you can get through their guard with is occasional strikes and counterattacks are your best bet, or wind pathing off them and then hitting them with something, or using the essence techniques or the ultimate techniques. You want to always prioritize killing the grenade launcher guys, because when you kill them, you can generally hit them with a flying swallow to stun them, then Izuna drop them, something like that. This is gay. I tried to attack this guy here, and it keeps examining the corpse, and I'm just like, come on, I want to fight him, do not get me killed, you piece of shit game. But kill the grenade launcher guys, use his essence to kill his friends, and that fight is not too bad. And what's going to be happening here is I go back to save, but I'm going to trim that out, and you're going to see me go through a door and then immediately come back through the door. So that's why that happens. The cool thing about this place, though, about Tyron, is a lot of the fights you can avoid. A lot of them you can just run past. So if you're not interested in doing them, or you don't need the essence, or you want to do as less fights as you can throughout your playthrough, this is the place that's going to enable you to do that. What you need to bear in mind, though, is a lot of the fights regenerate. Like things like this, these soldier encounters on these streets, these guys come back. So in theory, you could use them to farm for essence if you wanted to, but I wouldn't do it, because A, you don't really need to at this stage of the game, and B, these enemies are far too dangerous to farm essence off of, in my opinion, because later on you're going to be able to do it against things like ghostfish and against beetles, and they're definitely not quite as intelligent or as damaging as these guys. Everything on the game potentially can hurt you and can kill you if you let it, but the soldiers are a lot more intelligent and a lot more, intense, because they will come for you, so you need to bear that in mind. That is the Lunar Staff. That will be there on Very Hard and on Master Ninja, so bear that in mind. If you smash the pot, there is some essence which you can use to chain an ET, but you'll notice I completely missed with mine, and it's just because this is my first time through Master Ninja, so, a lot of the techniques that I'm going to be trying are probably going to hit and miss. It's going to be one of those things. But as I mentioned, it's a good opportunity to learn how to fight the soldiers. The only problem is, excuse me, when you come back to Tyron later on in the game, it's going to be completely different soldiers who are worse in almost every way, which I don't like the next bunch of soldiers. Also, you might notice that I do miss some items. I know where most of the items are in this place because I've played it a lot, but on Master Ninja, sometimes it's better to just avoid some of the fights. Like, this up here, I wanted to get these items because I always get these items, but this is one of the most frustrating sections because there's a bunch of dudes with guns, and up there normally is a grenade launcher guy, but for some reason on this time when I loaded it up, it was just a normal black soldier. So once you kill him, there's one above me right now on that platform there, and the best way to take him out is to run across the wall and actually jump up to his level. You'll notice I'm going to jump around firing my bow, because it's just one of the strategies that I like to do sometimes. The real key is finding the one that works for you. For instance, if I was doing a no-hurt run right now, this is probably not the strategy I would want to use. I would probably have to, you know, scan YouTube or scan some forums for the cheesiest spot to snipe these guys without taking damage. But the part that this gets really gay is when you jump across to where the guy, you know, across the wire was shooting at me, not the black soldier. Oh no, sorry, they were both black soldiers. But where the silver grenade launcher soldier usually turns up. Once you go across there, enemies will spawn where I am right now. One is a grenade launcher soldier, the other one is just a normal gunner, and they will start shooting at you. And it's just like, why would you put this in? And every time you go across here, they spawn. So when you come across here to this part, they spawn. So right now, where I was just stood, is a bunch of guys with guns and a grenade launcher guy. And there's this thing on Ninja Gaiden which I don't understand at all. I kind of understand it and then I kind of don't. On Devil May Cry, if the camera is not on the enemy, they can't attack you. On Ninja Gaiden, it doesn't matter, but at the same time, there are some enemies that will not aggressively approach you unless you're looking at them. And it's really strange, and what it does is, it makes camera manipulation an important aspect of the game, but also a confusing aspect, because sometimes it works to your advantage, other times it doesn't, and I don't really understand that, so I'd probably have to do some research to figure that out completely. The only problem at this point in time in doing that research is the Iberian realm, which is where all the Ninja Gaiden Masters used to be, apparently. When you click on the forums on that page, it takes you to a dead forum with no boards, so I don't know if you have to be a member to see them, but I don't know, I just can't see anything on there. So if anybody's a member of that site or knows anything about it, and if it is private so that you have to be a member to see the boards, please tell me, because I'm going to sign up and I'm going to listen to some of the ridiculously skillful players on there, drop some knowledge and hopefully learn my mistakes. But as soon as you go towards this door, you're going to trigger this fight. You do have enough time to charge an ultimate technique, and then from the essence that gets dropped, you can use it to kill his friends. The only problem is that guy in the distance with the grenade launcher. What a twat. And it's kind of funny because I've been watching a subscriber of mine, or I assume he's a subscriber because he watches my stuff, and he's done a Master Ninja playthrough of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and pretty much every single aspect of Ninja Gaiden 2 where you took on unnecessarily challenging moments of rocket launcher guys or projectile spamming archers that just blew you everywhere on every section that they shouldn't have been. In Sigma 2 they've removed them, and they've made some of the traversal stuff a lot more pleasant, because it wasn't the combat on Ninja Gaiden 2 that made it so hard, it was the fact that you were never safe, even in the moving around sections between save points, so you were always getting hit with explosives, and the director who made Sigma 2 removed them. But this game, he hasn't removed any of them from... Well, I don't really know that much about the original Ninja Gaiden or Ninja Gaiden Black, but there's still a whole load of bullshit guys with grenade launchers, which would have been nice if they weren't fucking in it. But when you come up here, it's always going to be a fight that's going to be tough. And this time it was with 3 red ninjas, but I knew it was coming. And one strategy you can do is if you charge up your Luna before you trip the spawn, you will do an ultimate technique that will maybe kill one of the ninjas, and then you can use him to chain the ultimate techniques to kill his friends. Another technique there is, do you notice how there was the enemies on the stairs? If you don't absorb the essence and you hold the block button, you can chain the essence into that fight and immediately do a UT against one of the red guys and then kill the rest of them. One thing I will say though, those ninjas are probably the most imposing enemy you'll fight. There's just something about them, they're aggressive, they're damaging, and they're very good. I'm not that good at fighting them yet, and a lot of the times I do, it's a messy fight, but that right there is probably one of the better fights I've had against them, and they're definitely an enemy I need to learn, I need to play against and get comfortable with, because they are the panic enemy. They are the one enemy that you fight where you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, pretty much every single moment of the fight. And that is not a good situation to be in when you're playing on Master Ninja. But it's all about practice, it's all about patience, and it's all about learning the game. And as I mentioned before, this guide is primarily for the people that don't have the time to do that. It's for the people that want to take on the hardest difficulty and pretty much be as informed as they possibly can. And hopefully this guide will do that. I do think though, when it comes down to fighting those red ninjas, it's it's one of those cases where I know how to fight them, I'm just really paranoid. Because one of the best ways you can do is to wait for them to attack. Hold block, wait for them to come at you, weather the storm and counterattack, or evade and then counter. But I'm so conscious that they can grab you and how fast they grab you that I think that pretty much every second I spend anywhere close to the enemy is a second I'm tempting fate and getting grabbed. And I need to get out of that mindset. I need to get into a more confident mood when I fight them. And it'll come with time. It's just a case of if I'm going to put the time in or not, and I don't know if I will be. Because as I mentioned, the guide is done now, so I'm probably going to move on to other things, but this is a hilarious moment coming up. There's an ability here to charge a lunar UT before you spawn the fight, and the actual technique pushes you into the trigger of the spawn, and the fight begins. And it's just before you touch this corrugated fence. I fuck it up, don't I? Look at that! I'm like, oh no! Oh, I'm gonna get away! And I immediately switch back to the Dragon Sword because I suck with the Luna on this game especially. It's like, I have no faith in my ability with that weapon, but it's only 3 ninjas. It's 2 IS ninjas and one of the fire ninjas, and as you see, I get rid of them pretty quickly, but at the time, it's one of those things where you panic, and it's just like, oh god, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, and I didn't die, but I thought I was going to, so there's a lovely panic moment for you. But the lesson to be learned there is do not walk past that corrugated fence thing and charge your UT just before it, and then release it. You'll move forward, you'll kill maybe 1 or 2 ninjas. Even if you just kill one, you can use his essence to kill his friends, and it's a super useful ability. Then once that's done, you can walk along the balcony, get the items, get the scarabs, and open the next doorway. And I want to talk about the Dynamo fight a little bit more in detail, because the fight was too quick to really tell you some of the strategies and some of the things to bear in mind. And I probably should have spoke about it during the Fiend Challenge, but I was kind of ranting, and my mind doesn't work when I rant. I just kind of go off on a tangent. Because you're going to fight him again later on when you come back through Tyron, and he's not harder, he's actually easier because there's no enemies with him and you've got much better weapons then. But it's his patterns, it's a couple of things to bear in mind that I've learned just through getting my ass kicked by him a lot. And there's no better knowledge than, you know, ass kicked knowledge, I believe. But thanks for watching, guys, thanks for listening, and you take care now.